So this is update number 4, I think. I did not post yesterday because I felt like a hot pile of garbage. I felt like I look right now. I didn't think this could feel like this. It was kind of like when people described to me what it was going to be like to have my first baby. Like, oh, the pain is there's people who tell you the pain is manageable, like period cramps. And then there are people who tell you that your asshole's going to burst open in front of your husband and just spray him with a baby. And some people want to make it scary and terrifying for other people so that they never want to get off of it. So what I can tell you, I do feel like crap. So let's list my symptoms first. My nose. I have blown my nose so much that I have dry skin all over my nose. Yes, baby?
Can you kiss me?
In 1 minute. Can I finish and then I'll play and I'll kick the fruit's butt?
No, you need to kill the fruit.
Oh, okay. Well, it's technically already picked. It's not on a stem, so I don't want to get too scientifically technical with you, but that fruit is already dead. I love you.
Good job.
Good job. He's one of my reasons to keep going. He just sits here and he's just beautiful. And when I do need those, like, just dopamine increases, I can just sniff his head and my older guy's head and just be like, I made you. And God wouldn't want me to be spending my time on anything else other than raising you into the best men. And I think the best men go through hard stuff.
I have 2 fruit ninjas.
Yeah? I think my kid's story
This is insane.
is gonna be like,
This is insane.
my mom had her things wrong with her. Like cats that don't get along. That I had my flaws, but that I always was there for them. Every single day, playing and learning, and no matter how I feel, I have always come through for them. So I'm hoping that will be a lesson. I don't know what's going to be a lesson to them or not. I have no idea. I had horrific things happen to me when I was little, and I think I'm pretty still, a decent human being. Maybe I don't have the greatest grammar, but that is it? Oh my God. If you put all your fingers on it, you're going to move the screen, but if you only put 4, it will let you cut the fruit with it. See? Moms don't lie.
Even 2.
My symptoms: running nose, permanent yellow finger from smoking, no skin changes or anything like that. I don't look swollen. My heart's beating fast. My back has the creepy crawlies. My stomach hurts really bad. I'm about to take some Pepto.
And you're about to die.
I'm about to die? Why?
Because you need to drink water.
I need to drink water or I'm gonna die.
I'll go get you a little water.
Could you go get me a little one? That would be so nice. Yeah, so the unfortunate part of having a child on the spectrum is they take things super, super literally. So when Ranger Frank said that you will, the 3 things that you need to live: food, water, shelter, air, food and water. I don't know, 3 minutes without air, 3 days without water, 3 weeks without food. Oh no, not one of those. I need actual water. That's sparkling water.
Big water?
Yeah.
Uh,
It's okay. I have coffee right now, baby. It's okay. You don't have to like serve me. But I'm trying to be positive that this will be not a good experience for them, because it can't be a good experience for them, but it'll just be a learning experience for them, and that they're not going to hate me for this. They're not going to hate me for taking up. Yeah, you can have that one. Junior, if I don't get this done, I'm not going to be able to play with you, and I'm not going to be able to do anything. So, can I talk to the camera for a little bit? Okay. Don't put all your fingers on there.
I'm just going to put 2.
So, when I got off on so many topics because of him talking, I don't even know where I'm talking anymore. But the reason that I didn't want to wait to the one to go down further and further and further was because I just want to get it over with. I don't want to keep drawing out the withdrawal, because it is a slow withdrawal where every day you have diarrhea and stomach aches and you're tired and all of this stuff, versus where I feel like I could just go through the hell and be done with it. But my symptoms, my eyes have been acting funny. They're just like having trouble adjusting, and that may just totally be an ophthalmologist issue that has absolutely nothing to do with Suboxone. It's only been 1 day. I don't know if anyone else has a sore on the inside of their mouth from taking their medication, but because I didn't put medication over it this morning, it healed over a little bit. Suboxone must be acidic. I don't know the actual, like, the properties of it. I have RLS. My RLS is absolutely nothing compared to my arms, my restless arms. Oh my God, I'm like Conor McGregor in my living room every single morning at like 3 o'clock in the morning, just trying to exercise this feeling out of my arms. But what I've learned, here, you can have this, and then I'm going to talk for a little bit, okay? Moving my arms does nothing for something that is coming from my central nervous system. And Sean tried to explain that to me yesterday when I kept saying, like, putting heating pads on my wrists and stuff like that, and it wasn't working because I didn't actually hurt my wrists. If this what this means, I have pain from about here to my elbow, just aches, and my legs ache. And it's just all coming from my brain. My brain is begging for drugs. It is a last-ditch attempt to beg for drugs. And then I'm going to enter into a period which I like to call the Great Depression, where you don't have a drop of dopamine or serotonin or anything that should be going right in your brain. Nothing is going right, because now it's like, we're out of this, we've got to reroute, we've had people doing our job for us, sending out these positive, whatever, we need to do this for ourselves.
Can I play Xbox?
Sure.
I'm gonna go play with Zoe and watch some videos.
Okay.
And play games.
Okay, and if anyone saw him holding a can, it's sparkling water, just so you know. My children don't drink beer this early. Or at all. I'm just joking. I hope you guys have gotten my sense of humor by now. I'm just such a damaged human that everything that I say is like morbidly funny. You know what I mean? Like, oh, a little kid getting drunk. But that's hilarious to me as an addict. Like, I mean, obviously, no, I did not give him a beer, but it's funny to me. So either way. Yeah, those are all of my symptoms and systems that are going weird. I'm having weird thoughts, weird dreams. I've never been able to lucid dream in my entire life. And last night I had the first experience where I could lucid dream and I could make choices in my dream. One of them evidently being I got married in my dream last night to a little person, very handsome guy, tattooed all over, like hot as shit for under 5 feet tall, 4 feet tall, whatever it was. But he was really mean, and it's like my biggest fear. I had a conversation with Sean last night, thanking him for helping me to get through this, and that I know what he goes through too, and all of this other stuff. And then I go and dream that he's this little person that is abusing the shit out of me. And my husband's 6'5", so like the irony of me being married to a little person, it had to mean something, but I don't know, because I'm just not a dream person. I was thinking about getting a reading done from Plagued Moth's wife. She actually is a tarot reader, and she's fabulous, and she sounds so, like, just so friggin' cool. And I was thinking about getting one of those done just as like a treat for myself once I get through this week. And then in 2 weeks, well, maybe no, I'll do it in 2 weeks, because in 1 week I got a present, like a push present, and I was so excited and like just blown away by my husband. But he got me a MacBook, and it's for my real estate class, because I'm recently starting college again. And obviously I couldn't do any of that this summer or through this detox or whatever, but all of this is opening up for me. I'm not going to be sick sitting at a computer saying like, oh God, like I really, really, really need a Dilaudid. Like I would be able to do this so much better with the Dilaudid. I'm going to have a clear head and be in school for the first time. And I'm so fucking happy for the second chance. I am so happy. So, after a long tangent of speaking, I guess what I was trying to say is I'm jumping off now versus because I'm at 0.3 milligrams. Now you can go down to where you're at like micrograms. I guess there are ways to dose that you can be even further, where your body's like, it sort of leaves in an almost undetectable way, and that sounds beautiful. But I don't want to forget this. When I'm sitting there and doing my real estate homework and considering taking something to stay up a little later, or considering getting in touch with a doctor to tell them I'm feigning some sort of pain, which they always believe. It's very, very hard when you have a complicated medical history and an addiction to opiates, because all I have to do is just show them that my scar tissue is very, very tight around my feeding tube right now, and I really just need something for pain to be able to sleep through the night. And as a, what they assume to be just this harmless, army wife, I don't necessarily look, if I have clothes on, I don't look as tattooed as I am, just only that you can see, really what you can see is this and maybe like a few other ones. But I don't look like what they would stereotype as being a user, which is part of what should be their training as well, is that every single person, whether you have pearls on or, all missing all your teeth, you can be on the same drug, just at a different progression. So I want to feel this. I want to feel the hurt. I want to feel the pain. I want to feel like shit. I want to take my kids out for walks to get sun and start being a person again. And I want to heal and heal and heal. Those are my only goals. And I'd like to make this just a one-time occurrence. I'd like if my children didn't have to see me withdraw from different drugs for the rest of my life. I think it'd be good for them. I think that they could go one of two ways. I have 6 siblings. We are all addicts. I want to break this curse. You know, we were all addicts. Our parents were addicts. Their parents. My family has been... My grandmother was drinking from a flask on the way over from Italy because she couldn't make it without alcohol. Because she was a horrific alcoholic. And the women in my family, horrific alcoholics. I don't want to brag, but I could probably drink a lot of the men reading this, seeing this on Reddit under the table and still be standing. Good old lithium. Lithium, the metal that makes your brain work. So I asked, yesterday I filmed a little update, and while I was doing it, my friendship bracelet broke that I have with my husband, because we wear friendship bracelets, and we're crazy. But it had broken off of my ankle, and I was like, oh shit, like, I don't know what this means when you're married. I know when you're friends or whatever, like, you gotta know you don't take it off until it falls off, and I don't know what that means if you're not friends anymore, blah, blah, blah. I never went to camp. My parents were the kind of rich that didn't pertain to giving a fuck about your kids with your money. Oh, it's too tight right now, but I was like, am I single? This fell off.
Mommy,
I don't know what to do. Yes, baby?
Eagle's Canyon, and that's Xavier. And my brother likes him, and Xavier likes playing with him, and he's on.
So why don't you put the headset on and you tell him, hey, my brother's sleeping, but I'll play with you.
Can you? Is it on me?
I really don't want to talk to a 6-year-old kid from Scotland. I kind of feel like that's inappropriate. Oh, they have a kid they play with on Xbox, and he's Scottish,
Put it on me, please.
and he has a stutter.
Please put it on me.
And if there is nothing cuter sounding, plug it in the world, it is this little child. Oh my God, just amazing. And I've always loved accents. I don't know what it was. I dated people solely because of accents in college. Maybe I was rebelling just because in my family, not speaking Italian and speaking what the other white kids were speaking was called becoming American. American. You were assimilating. So I started to forget everything I knew in Italian that my parents had taught me. And I only knew curse words and like how to say bad shit. I could understand what they were saying. If they were talking about me, I could understand clear as fucking day. I can still understand a random Italian conversation, but I can't really speak it anymore. But I've just always been fascinated with the fact that people could do that duality. My dad did it all the time. He would start, Christina Marie, and then, because a lot of people make fun of us Italian girls that we all have like the middle name Marie. If you've ever heard a girl get called that has that middle name Marie, it sort of almost goes with our first name. So like if you were Anne Marie, whatever, Capiano, you'd be Anne Marie, Christina Marie, Tina Marie, all of these names, that Angelica Marie, like just, it was one name. So it's kind of funny. I think they're both up now. Well, I just wanted to leave an update, and I don't even know what this was about. Little people, my kids not becoming drug addicts. I don't even remember. But hopefully it was an okay update. I'm alive. Detox is not going to kill you. It's just going to make you feel like you want to kill yourself. And you have to remember that this is 1 to 2 weeks, and it is temporary. No matter how bad I feel right now, this is going to end. And this is moms on Suboxone, right? So I'm assuming a lot of you are women. That point that you get where you feel like you can't take labor anymore. You can't do it. Just cut this fucking baby out of me. I cannot do this. And somehow your body gets through that ring of fire and gets that baby out, and you get to hold it to your chest. And do you remember a goddamn thing about anything else mattering in that room, or how bad anything hurt other than holding that baby? Maybe you do. Some of you had massive trauma births that I don't want to take away from you. But for me, when they put my kids on my stomach, nothing else mattered in the entire world. So when I'm done with this and I'm handed a new lease on life, I hate that fucking term. It just bothers me. But and I am in school, and my head is clear, and I can go to the gym again, and I can have a scheduled life again, which is another thing. We're going to actually talk about that as I attempt to do that, but sort of rescheduling and putting your life together after sobriety, because it's within those first 3 weeks that you have the highest rate of relapse. So I want to really schedule with you and let you guys know what I want to do for the rest of this year that's going to keep my mind occupied and help me stay sober. And I wanted to show you something really cool on Amazon. If anyone else homeschools, or if you just do crafts with your kids, this is something that is so cool, and it is not like dirty, or that it takes a lot of time. And they have these blank puzzles. There are 11 of them, and they're $7, and they're just blank puzzles like that, and your kids can draw whatever they want on there. It can be a therapy tool if they're in therapy. You can give them to your therapist to use with your children while you're doing it, and sort of as an art, not an art thing, but I have been drawing in my adult coloring book to sort of keep myself sane at night, because Sean goes to bed at like 10 o'clock, so that means that I'm up until about 4 or 5 by myself, which is fine. I find things to do, like look up that there's 100% death rate of rabies, and now I'm petrified and I'll never go camping again. I also looked up what fatal familial insomnia something, where it's actually a gene that the mutation started in Italy, and people around their 40s or 50s would have a prion disease, which is similar to what rabies is. It's a prion disease. It's a rage disease, if that gives you any idea how it is. So half of every person, like the statistic to have this is 1 in 3 million, where one day you're 50 years old and all of a sudden your amygdala is just torn apart by an amoeba that however many years ago, so I'm not an amoeba, a protein rather, that's why it's called a prion. A protein will just start eating your brain into a literal liquid soup. But you're alive in there because they leave just enough for your functions, but not for you to like actually fucking function. And some of these diseases are so scary, but there was a certain point that in Italy, because it is an island and it's not necessarily inbreeding, but it's families mixing and crossing genetics, and if 2 people with that recessive gene have a baby, that baby is going to have that gene. So, I mean, I don't want to explain a whole diagram for you, but do you remember that thing in school? Blue eyes and brown eyes, big B, little b. Yeah, it was very interesting that 1 in 2 people in this specific area of Italy had this disease. So around 50 years old, they would stop sleeping, and it was such deprivation on their bodies. And right now, scientifically, we know sleep is restorative and all of that stuff, but we really don't know why we are sleeping. We don't know why we do that, because, I mean, you know what I mean? There's not enough study about it, and I don't have enough time to explain what the hell I'm actually talking about. But they know that sleep is beneficial, sleep is good for us. These are all things that are implied. These are not, these are facts. These are scientific facts. Sleeping makes you feel good. If you don't sleep, you will die. Between 7 and 36 days, you will die. So all these people in this Italian town started dying. And it was late in their life, and they couldn't sleep, and people wouldn't believe them. And it's absolutely crazy, because the gene is still present today, much lower rates than 1 in 2. But it does worry me, because I'm Italian, and I have had such an issue with insomnia in my life, as my mother does. My mother will stay up from 7 to 10 days at a time. I don't know how the hell she does it. I don't know why she does it. I think that there are some things that are psychologically wrong with my mom, that I'm adopted, so she was born in 1940. It was a very, very different time. But I would be interested to see if she ends up with the gene. So we'll see. And it's dominant on her side, and then she married another nice Italian fella, but he didn't have it, because he slept all the way until he died. So even if he had it and it was recessive, it's impossible that I would have it. But of course, at 4 o'clock in the morning, I consider that I may have mad cow disease, because I read the symptoms and I'm like, oh my God, I'm irritable. I too do that. Do I have mad cow disease? No, you don't. Go to sleep. I don't even know where I'm going with this at this point. Well, I'm gonna go play with my kids, watch them play Fruit Ninja, try and survive today. I'll probably update tonight, because nighttime is the worst. I hope you're all doing good, whether you are on Suboxone, tapering, staying on it for life. If you're addicted just to Looney Tune cartoons and you're here just to see how we deal with our own addictions, welcome. Give it up. No, I'm just kidding. Everyone is welcome here. I know it says Moms on Suboxone. I tried to contact Reddit and see if I could change the name, because I've had literally so many complaints. What about parents on Suboxone? Or some parents don't. I hate that I just did that mocky voice, because it's not mocking them. Some parents are non-binary. Some parents are just dads that are on Suboxone. So I wanted to make it more inclusive, but I can't change the name. So what do? Do I just include in the bio that I'm a fucking idiot and I wrote moms just for the hell of it? Can I say it's an acronym? Fuck, I'm not smart enough for this. Let me know what you think you want me to do. Should I just start a new Reddit and have it be, I mean, there's only 38 members. Should I start a new Reddit and have it be parents on Suboxone, humans on Suboxone, and then I'm leaving out a whole group of anti-terrestrials or whatever. I don't know what to do. I'm just kidding. I know that aliens don't use Suboxone. They probably are way beyond us in drug control. Not like Russia. I saw a picture of crocodile yesterday and what it does to you. I like to watch some morbid stuff sometimes to remind me the path that I was going down. Oh, I could see through that girl's arm. And Father Jesus, I'm just praying that they find help over there. They have more than 100,000 people addicted to crocodile, and it is one of the worst drugs in the entire world. It is literally a pseudo heroin, which heroin is all good and natural out in a field in a poppy flower when you pick it and you smell it, but once you do all this chemical shit to it, there's not a goddamn thing that's safe about it. Especially if you're the type of person who's like, oh, Fetty only, Fetty only. My drug addiction started with fentanyl. I've done probably more fentanyl than a lot of you guys posing with it. It's not a joke. But I don't know. Let me go play with my kids. Have fun. Have a great day.